Okay, so they keep asking, how did you do it? Well, what if I told you a number of different things? What if I told you you don't need rituals or sacrifices to gain authority in the spirit realm? What if I told you it actually slows you down, and what actually enables you to have more authority in the spirit realm is expanded consciousness and more access? What if the way you've been going about it the entire time is wrong? What if also through meditation you can do DNA repair, so enhanced healing on the spot? What if I also told you the way to get into your expanded consciousness is only through meditation? So the more you meditate, the more you understand. Meditate and ground. Search and ground. Search and ground. The bigger and better you become, and you don't need things like candles and sage and cards and altars and sacrifices. You don't need the rituals at all to become much more powerful and valuable in the spirit realm. So, what if I also told you healing of the mind, healing of the body, energetic control, emotional stability and control, all of these things, including enhanced intelligence, all comes from expanded consciousness? What if I told you that I could get you there? What if I told you I could train certain individuals in advanced tactics, into integrating spirituality with psyops? What if I told you that I could create the next gen of super soldier, all through meditation and expanded consciousness and access to the spirit realm? What if I told you I know how to train psychic gifts and abilities? What if I told you that sometimes planting seeds is not necessarily putting them in the ground and seeing what grows, but creating a telepathic exchange through direct connection? And in this way, with the right energy and the right emotional balance, you can instill an idea. What if I told you that you can put your mind into theta without frequency? What if I told you you could install theta triggers through hypnosis into your everyday life? What if I told you that through meditation you can become the most powerful being on the face of the planet, and with access and exposure to the right energies, which I have, we'll call it a case study for, you, and unlocking certain aspects of your DNA so that that all comes into line? What if I told you that you could be a superhuman? What if I told you that using these techniques and these tools is how I survived what I did and came back with clarity instead of insanity? What if I told you the mind is much more powerful than anybody ever told you that it was or let you believe? And just for a frame of reference, I not only did this stuff, but I simplified it. I can create a syllabus to make a superhuman. I know exactly what I did. I know how to articulate it. And I know how to help create it in others, step by step, start to finish. So, I can teach transcendence. I can teach things and practices that can save your mind and save your body and save your life. And I can teach you how to get eyes in the back of your head. I can teach you how to up your level to the highest level imaginable. But again, it's going to take the right candidates, and it's going to take about a year after interviewing the beta course of consistent work to get to even the level I'm at, and I'm still advancing. What if I used all of this spiritual and psychological warfare as my own understanding training ground. And I learned how to not only keep myself separate from it, but also defend against it. Gain an entire guidebook. And I've learned how to reverse engineer it for the other side. So let's say make love, not war. I learned how to reverse engineer all of these orchestrated events and plans and all of the dark energies and go to the other side of the spectrum when it comes to the spiritual realm. And I learned how to make this something for the benefit of humanity instead of being the cause of its downfall. And I've used these skills to help a lot of people, to help them advance in their everyday life, to help them go through a process that would lead them to peace, harmony, and freedom, and to also teach them little tools and tricks to make them, in their own right, more advanced in their natural God-given capabilities. So my Mother's Day gift is, this is what I've actually been doing. And yes, I've been working with, we'll call them certain entities. And yes, I was a case study for quite some time. And yes, I went through all of that. And no, I didn't lose my mind. I gained strength and clarity from it. Turn your pain into power. Also, through this, I brought multiple entities from across the globe and beyond to my collective to be housed under one roof. After initiation processes for each, but still no clear standing within the confines of any, I'm free to run and guide my own table. I brought everybody to that table for the next generation of world leaders. I did this in order to get everybody in line for the global shift that is taking place. We're already seeing effects. If you had any idea what I do in the dark, which is nothing like what you do in the dark, you wouldn't quite be surprised as to why it's been so effective. I'm brilliant, incredibly brilliant, very hardworking. I created my own discipline. I stick to a very strict regimen and schedule. Very little variation. And what I find very funny is that a lot of the people that love to talk about me are afraid to get the truth from me. Every time I offer up a piece of information that they could take to use as truth, they run and they hide. Scamper off into the woods. Slither back behind the rocks, little snakes. Keep in mind, the spies they've been sending, they don't have the knowledge base to be able to even understand what they're watching, so you're wasting your time. Even in conversations with me, they can't fathom the realm of existence that I walk through. So, even those conversations, with my high capacity mindset and my goal-oriented future, as in creating a different future for the whole human civilization and, ultimately building the next generation of world leaders, they don't quite understand exactly what all of that means, because they're still stuck wondering why their candle magic didn't work. Thing is, I'm not afraid to be on my own level, but every time I choose open communication, they get terrified and scamper off. I mean, why would you waste your time spying on something you have no capability to understand? And when I try to give you that understanding, you run? Okay, now I know what side you're working for. This is why your side lost you. You're welcome.